Welcome back. So in this section, we are going to have a look at managing local user accounts, and we are going to be creating users. To do so, we will call on the help of three commands. Those commands are useradd to add a new user, usermod to change the properties of an existing user, and then we are also going to have a look at userdel, which will naturally delete a user. The two files that we'll also have a look at include etc passwd, and despite its name, has got nothing to do with password-related information. We'll also have a look at the etc group file. Join me on my terminal. So in order for me to use the useradd command, I need to be logged on as an administrative user. And if you have a look in this terminal tab, I'm logged in as student. The hash indicator over here should be enough to tell you that you are logged on as an administrative user. However, you can further verify this information by having a look at the output of who am I. So allow me to go and add a user called Fred Flintstone. And the user account that we are going to allocate to Fred Flintstone is Fred. Now the file that was manipulated in this particular case is etc passwd. So what you can see over here is that I created a user account called Fred. So it maps to the argument that I'm highlighting right now. You can see that the comment field was manipulated. So the comment field appears as the fifth field inside etc passwd. So what I'm about to do right now is to change the properties of this existing user account, making use of the usermod command. So I'm going to use the usermod command, and some of the properties that I am going to be modifying include changing Fred's user ID. So I will be setting it to 10,000. I'm also going to be changing the comment to Mr. Fred Flintstone. And I'll also be changing Fred's shell. And this entire transaction is going to be conducted against the user account Fred. So let's see how this affected etc passwd. So what you can see over here is that the user ID was indeed changed to 10,000, and that is as per the -u option that I made use of. Next, you can see that the comment field was changed to include a title, like Mr. Fred Flintstone. I also changed Fred's shell to bin tcsh. Should you no longer have any use for a user, you can delete the user account making use of the userdel command. One of the cool things that I like about the userdel command is that it does not delete the user's home directory for you, just in case the user account has some valuable information that is associated with it inside of the home directory. So if you have a look at the output of the command above, while the user no longer exists in the system, the home directory is still around. Finally, one item that is often left out when creating a user account is setting the password, because typically we don't set the password with the useradd command. Passwords are set with the passwd command. So I'm going to be adding a user account for Wilma. And while the user account Wilma was created, Wilma doesn't have the ability to log in because she doesn't have a password. So to set a password for that particular user account, I can make use of the passwd command and then specify the user that I would like to set a password for. Just be careful that when you make use of the passwd command as root, that if you do not specify a username as an argument, you would be changing your own password. Now the password that I set was Red Hat, and it is shorter than 8 characters. It was still accepted because I am root. The root user has the ability to set a bad password. If you were logged in as a normal user, you would have to adhere to the system's password policy.